Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me. I asked my audience if they had any questions about writing, about publishing, about the process of writing. In this video, I'm going to answer this question. What do I wish I had done differently with my first book? I have written or co-authored 8 books, and 3 of those books are currently in the publishing process right now. My first book was Shimmer, and we self-published this book. And as self-published authors, we've learned a lot since the time our first book was published to the ones that are being published today. And I'm going to share with you 5 things I wish I had known before I published this book. And tip number 1 is you don't know what you don't know. And what that means to me is I wish I had taken more time to learn more about the craft of writing before I published the first book. I had lots of creativity, I had the motivation, I had the follow through, I had the drive to take that idea, write that idea, and publish it. But I realized that we can be our own worst critic, and I can look at this first book and I see all the flaws and all the things that I could have done better. But I know that if I would have taken the time to learn more about the craft of writing, this book would have been a much better book. And so you don't know what you don't know. So learn more. And tip number 2, don't be in a hurry to publish. Take the time to write and rewrite. Take the time to let it sit. When you think you're done writing that book, you want to close the file and let it sit and then come back to it. And that's when you're going to have fresh eyes on it. That's when you're going to see things to change. You're going to get more inspiration. So don't be in a hurry to hit publish. Tip number 3 is editing. Now, every writer should become really good at self-editing. The more you self-edit your work, the less work and money you have to pay an editor to go through your writing. And so become proficient at self-editing your own work. And that takes time and effort. And make sure once you have done the self-editing, make sure that you get it professionally edited. Tip number 4 is don't skimp on that book cover. You want to make sure that your book cover is the best it can possibly be. I highly recommend getting a professionally designed book cover. I made a video about that, and I will put that in the description. Make sure and check that video out. The book cover is super important. It is your biggest marketing tool, so do not skip this step. Hey, if you like these videos, make sure you like and subscribe to help support the channel and click that bell notification so you don't miss any future videos. Number 5 is marketing. I wish that when I have published our first book that I had understood marketing a whole lot more than I did. There's an old movie that is one of my favorites, and it has a phrase in it, if you build it, they will come. So he goes about building this thing in the movie, and translated to writing books and marketing books, we seem to think that will happen with marketing our book. If I write this book and I publish it, people are going to flock to read my book. Now, that is only true in the movies. As a self-published author, you are responsible for marketing your book, and you have to be proactive in marketing. You cannot just hit publish and think that the work's all going to be done for you. So the thing I wish I had known is to understand marketing more before I hit publish so that I could successfully launch my book. I want you to think about an iceberg. So an iceberg, there's a little bit poking out of the water, and you got the water here. And under, the iceberg is huge. So when you're thinking about writing a book and publishing a book, that writing process is the iceberg sticking up out of the water. The marketing and getting your book to sell, that's all under the water. And it is equally important as writing that book. Do you have questions that you want answered about the writing or publishing process? I would love to hear from you. And put your questions in the comments, and I will try to make videos about your questions. Thanks for joining me. I will catch you in the next video.